Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
She's here from the Daily Oz with That's Entertainment, Emma Gillespie.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello. Well, another day, another celebrity memoir or another celebrity trying to sell their memoir. And this week we're talking about Rebel Wilson. She's in an unlikely feud with Sacha Baron Cohen, of all people. So we know Sacha Baron Cohen, Borat, that guy, and in similar roles to Borat, Ali G. He did a movie with Rebel Wilson a few years ago called Grimsby.
I thought that was a hilarious film.
We
Yeah, it was pretty
him as the character Grimsby
Yeah,
at
well,
the time.
he loves to do his in-character things. He really commits to the character for a few years. That was 10 years ago, believe it or not, actually. And then last week in an Instagram post, Rebel Wilson posted this kind of cryptic thing about when she first came to Hollywood, she heard about people that had this, no a-hole policy, and she didn't really get it. And then she realized eventually, like, okay, when you work with older people in the industry, sometimes they behave like, quote, a-holes. And she said that chapter 23 in her book is all about a massive a-hole, someone that she worked with, but she didn't name who it was. Eventually, over the course of the last few weeks, she's dropped more hints and she spoke about it being someone she worked with on Grimsby. So we narrowed that down. And eventually she did reveal on Instagram that it's Sacha Baron Cohen.
She's named him in the book, though, hasn't she?
She's named him in the book. And the reason that she has named him in public now is because she said that he's trying to threaten her with legal action. He's hired a crisis PR manager and lawyers, she said. He's trying to stop press coming out about my book, but the book will come out, she said, and you will all know the truth.
What did he do? What was his a-hole behaviour?
So actually, during an interview with Kyle and Jack in 2014, she was talking about the movie and she joked about Sacha being kind of outrageous and a bit wild on set. But I think if we look back at those comments now, you can read a little bit more into it. She said things like, every day he wanted me to get naked in this scene. And she said, no, I'm not going to get naked and blah, 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 blah. They had apparently the same agent in America and the agent was pressuring her to get naked. And she said that he kind of was trying to be funny, but that he was harassing her a little bit. And then it all culminated in the last scene that they filmed. And he said, Rebel, can you just stick your finger up my butt? And she said, what do you mean, Sacha? That's not in the script. And he's like, look, I'll just pull down my pants and you just stick your finger up my butt. It'll be really funny.
And so this is what she said in an interview. This isn't even, so this is when she was sort of promoting the movie.
Yes.
It wasn't even the nasty stuff she's going to say about him in the book.
Well, exactly. So that's what we know about his behaviour on set, allegedly.
Yep.
And we have heard those since overnight from Sacha Baron Cohen's camp. He released a statement, his people released a statement saying that while we appreciate the importance of speaking out, these demonstrably false claims are directly contradicted by extensive detailed evidence, including contemporaneous documents, film footage and eyewitness accounts from those present before, during and after the production of The Brothers Grimsby. So very litigious language there. It sounds like, in layman's terms, they're calling her a big fat liar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, it's a fine line as well because that could lead to her book being pulped if it's indeed wrong, if it's false.
Well, yeah.
That's what happens.
I imagine it's incredibly stressful for her. She says this is just one chapter of her book. So, it would be a shame or worrying for her to have all these threats looming for
But you
one
know
small
very
part of
well,
the book.
having said that, you put those things in a book because you know that there's one chapter everyone's going to talk about,
Sure.
and hence that's a good selling point.
Sure.
Well, exactly. Here we are talking about Rebel Wilson's memoir now.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I wonder what will happen. I mean, she's named him and she must have known, naming him on Instagram, that this was going to blow up. But I suppose she's angry that he's hired this whole team and is threatening her. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
Watch
to see
this
what happens
space.
with the book. I wonder what Sacha Baron Cohen's really like. Because Isla Fisher, she seems like an angel. His wife, Aussie girl, of course.
She's smart
He's,
though. She's got this beatific, pretty face, but she's
No, but
very
she's-
very smart. She's very sharp.
Remember we had her on and she'd written a children's book.
Yeah.
And then she wouldn't talk about her children.
Really?
And I went, okay. And then
Interesting.
Sacha, we had him on, but he wanted to be the character Grimsby. And we went through this whole thing. And I said, well, no one knows who Grimsby is. And anyway, so we complied. We went, okay, sure, mate. And then halfway through, he dropped the character. And I just went, come on.
Yeah, but they're movie stars. This is how they are.
I know, but
they're not our
we're
mates.
just trying to get. No, I know they're not our mates.
And I think they're
So-
a very famously private couple
That's right.
themselves.
That's
so
right.
even to get a statement in that form, obviously through someone's legal team, but that was, I think, a surprise to even hear from him in that way.
But I find you don't mess with Rebel. Like I know Rebel. I've worked with her a few times. But
Yeah, she's no shrinking violet.
She'll call out anyone. She's called out Russell Crowe. She's called out heaps
Yeah.
of people.
She's got a law degree, so
exactly.
she can handle it.
Yeah.
Go Rebel.
Put your finger up your own butt, mate.
That was the sequel.
Thank